If a man steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Why would they do that? You steal somebody's sheep, you pay back 4 sheep. Well, everybody goes home happy. The victim got 4 sheep. He's happy. He says, come steal another one. This has worked out great. The thief is back with his family paying his own bills. As in American system, somebody steals something, they put him in jail, and now the victim who got his stuff stolen has to pay the guy's groceries and light bill. Have we gone nuts? Pay back 4 times, and everybody goes home. Under American law, the victim may never get paid back for the theft and will be forced to pay for the groceries and housing of the thief as long as he's in prison. Isn't that what's happening? Which is cheaper for society? Which is better deterrent? I don't want to do that again. I stole the guy's sheep, and man, I had to pay back 4 sheep. I don't want to do that again. Which is better for the criminal's family? He's home with his kids now. He's got to raise his own kids and buy his own groceries. But which one does not make a profit for judges and lawyers and congressmen? Oh, that's why they do it. It's all about the money. That's why we have a giant prison system. Under God's law, you fine them, beat them, or kill them. You don't lock them up. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. If a thief be found breaking up, and he be smitten that he die, somebody's breaking into your house and you shoot him or kill him, there shall no blood be shed for him. Self-defense. Breaking and entering, hey, no problem. A friend of mine, he was 16 years old, somebody was breaking into their house through the window, and he pulled out a .45 caliber and shot him, killed him. He's laying there half in the window. And the cop showed up and said, oh man, you're in trouble. He said, I am. He's breaking into my house. He said, well, he wasn't all the way in. So the cop grabbed his belt and pulled the guy rest of the way in. He said, there, now you're fine. Okay, let's fill out this report. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him. For he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, he shall be sold for his theft. If he can't afford to pay back, he goes into slavery. This was God's law. I'm just telling you. Jail is slavery. Prison is slavery. There's no difference. And kidnapping. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. You steal the sheep and you catch him, you still got it. Oh, okay, now you got to pay back twice. Okay. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, so you let your cow loose in the neighbor's field, and shall put in his beast and shall feed in another man's field, of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. This is God's law. You make restitution. If a fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindleth the fire shall surely make restitution. So even if it's a mistake, oops, it was an accident, you still got to pay for it. We do that in our law, don't we? If you lose control of your car and smack into another car, well, you still got to pay the damages. You caused it. Mm-hmm. There can be carelessness. Under God's law, God takes all these things into account. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, like, hey, would you watch my cow while I go on vacation, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. So the thief pays double. If the thief be not found, the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. So now there's going to be a trial, where the judges are going to decide, did you steal this or did somebody else steal it? There's a need for judges and a need for courts. There's not a need for prisons. We would shut them all down. America has 4% of the world's population. We have 26% of the world's prisoners. It's a giant industrial complex. Who makes the groceries? There's private contractors have buses hauling people all over and airplanes. Many of the prisons are owned by private prisons. It's a giant money-making racket. Okay. For all manner of trespass, whether it be an ox or an ass for sheep or raiment for any manner of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges. And whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double. Case decided. Judges decided. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or a beast to keep, and it die, or be hurt, and driven away, nobody sees what happens, just the cow died. Okay? Then shall an oath of the Lord be between them both, that he hath not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. Hey, bud, you loaned me your cow. It died. I didn't do it. The owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. The judges have to decide. Yeah, we believe that story. If it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for a witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. If a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof not with it, he shall surely make it good. Keep in mind, God is giving these people his laws. These are people that have been in slavery for the last 215 years. They've only been free for 3 months. They don't have a clue how to run government, how to run anything. God's saying, here's how it ought to be done. He's teaching them what he thinks it ought to be done. If the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good. If it be an hired thing, it came for his hire. In other words, if you rent the neighbor's cow to plow your field and the cow dies, just like if you go rent a tractor at the Kubota dealer and it breaks down, you don't have to pay for it. It's their machine. Your rental, that was good enough. These same type of principles apply today and just covers just about everything. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, she's not engaged, he entices her and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. What if we did that in America? Oh, you enticed that girl and slept with her, you have to marry her. No, I just wanted her for a night, I don't want her for a lifetime. And if her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. What is a dowry? We don't do this in our country, but maybe we should, I don't know. But the dowry is interesting. In Bible times, the reason for the dowry for the bride's family, in the Orient, which would be Israel in that area, they call that the Orient, when the bride's parents give their daughter in marriage, they're actually diminishing the efficiency of their family. She's the one that cooked the supper and vacuumed the floors and did the laundry or whatever, now she's gone. So you're taking away our effectiveness here. Often unmarried daughters would tend the flock of their father, or they would work in the field or render help in other ways. They're helpful. Thus, upon her marriage, a young woman would be thought of as increasing the efficiency of her husband's family and diminishing that of her parents. Therefore, a young man who expects to get possession of their daughter must be able to offer some sort of adequate compensation. This compensation was the marriage dowry. Now, what happened to that money? Interesting. It was not always required that, I copied this from a website, this is classic, I think. It was not always required that the dowry be paid in cash. It could be paid in service. Jacob could not pay cash, so he said, I will serve these 7 years for Rachel, in the book of Genesis 29. King Saul required the lives of 100 of the enemy Philistines as the dowry. David gave him 200. For David to secure Michal as his wife, that was Saul's daughter. The king said, I don't want any dowry, I just hate the Philistines, they're trying to get us kill 100 of them. He was hoping they would kill David. It was usually customary for at least some of the price of the dowry to be given to the bride. Why should she get some? Oh, what if the guy leaves her? What if the marriage breaks apart? Now she's got something. This would be in addition to any personal gift from the bride's parents. Leah and Rachel complained about the stinginess of their father Laban. Concerning him, they said, he hath sold us and quite devoured our money. Their dad didn't pay the girls anything. He kept everything from Jacob's labor. Laban had the benefit of Jacob's 14 years of service without making the equivalent of at least part of it as a gift to Leah and Rachel. Since a divorced wife in the Orient is entitled to all her wearing apparel, you get a divorce, all of her clothes go with her. So they sew their money onto their clothes. Because the rule is you get to keep all your clothes. For this reason, much of her personal dowry consists of coins in her headgear and jewelry on her person. Fancy rings, fancy necklaces. This becomes wealth in case the marriage fails. Gold necklaces, gold jewelry, gold hat. Many countries do this. The wife gets to keep her clothes. If you want, honey, you're going to divorce me? Guess what? I'm taking all, and she's got something to start over. That's common sense 101, right? Yeah, she ought to have something to start over. Okay. This is why the dowry is so important to the bride, and such emphasis is placed on it in the negotiations that precede marriage. The woman who had 10 pieces of silver and lost one was greatly concerned over her loss in Luke 5, because it was probably part of her dowry.